Okay. See, ETL team will load into my data into my warehouse, right? So reporting people will pick the data from the database. That's a data warehouse. So data warehouse maintaining is can be done by Oracle or Teradata. Okay, any of these databases can be used as a data warehouse maintenance, right? So the main idea is to gather different formats of data and then making into my warehouse. So in between, while gathering, after gathering, right, we'll be applying some transformations as well. That's what like extraction will take care of cleansing part. You can see in this slide, right? So when you do extraction, right, you will be doing cleansing of the data. Cleansing means we will be validating the data, whether the data is coming from the input is as required or not. Like null values will be removed. Okay, which are invalid records will be dropped out. Okay, all this will happen at the extraction level only. So whatever format of data input I am getting from here, so what I will be doing is reading the data file and then applying those validations and then prepare an output file. Okay, so that output file will be helpful for my transformation as an input. Okay, so at first stage you are going to convert all the different formats of input data into different flat files. Okay, so the way we will be getting the source systems is something like we'll be having multiple source systems. We may get anything, something DB2, Oracle. XML. Okay, so any of these input formats I can receive by the ETL team. So these are the source systems coming from different parts of servers. Okay, so from different servers I will be getting this input data. It will be fed to the ETL team. Okay, a complete life cycle will be something like you will be preparing the ETL data warehouse and the reporting people will utilize it for reporting. So once you face it with from the development team to SIT, SIT to UAT, UAT and OAT, and then live. Okay, all this will happen. So development will be the first part, then going to SIT, then UAT, OAT, and then live or production. So what level this warehouse will be helpful actually for the business users? Prasad, any idea?
I'm not sure.
Okay, so this warehouse will be utilized by the business users for their performance, for their improvement of the organizations. Okay, let us say banking systems, right? So banking systems are maintaining this warehouse, okay, and they are having all this the information about the credit card details, their transactions, okay, and their account types, and account available in multiple cities of the other countries, right? So all this information will be gathered, and the transactions will be monitored. Okay, whether the transactions are valid or not. Okay, if they are doing some invalid transactions, illegal transactions, right? So in that case, they have to raise the alerts and then have to verify it as an extra thing, right? So why this is required is they for the banking securities. Okay, as a part of banking security, I need to maintain all these things so that I would know what is going on in the bank actually in internally, so that the banking will be maintaining the standards at all the levels, right? So in the bank system will be thinking of checking the organizational growth also, right? If you have taken any bank in the US or UK anyhow, right? So you can take a capital one as a one of the bank, right? Barclays Bank, Citibank. These are the different clients which we have for the Abinitio. So all this will be having the warehouse projects where they will be using card systems. All this data will be sent to this our ETL team. So we'll be loading into warehouse and preparing the whatever reports they want and send back to the team, business users. Okay.
So when
So
does the actual analysis happen?
what type of analysis it is?
Generally people talk about like when it comes to data warehouse, data can be received from multiple sources, like DB2, Oracle, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
When we
Okay.
when we have the source data in multiple places, and all those things will be transformed and loaded into the target database. So during this transition, where will the actual analysis happen? Correct me if I'm wrong. People talk like data warehousing is all about business analysis.
Yeah, business analysis will be done at the last stage. See, suppose the period of time I take for this building of warehouse is 1.5 years. Suppose 18 months. Okay. So 18 months of time I'll be going between all this development, SIT, UAT and road. Suppose all are completed by the 10 months. Okay. So all the phases are finished. Live or production is nothing but you will be getting the daily actual feeds, actual files from the source systems. You have to load into your warehouse. Okay. So once it is been loaded, that means here itself the analysis will be started in this phase. Okay. Live or production means from here onwards, your warehouse is ready to use it and your reports are ready to view the reports by the business users. So your business users will be available here actually. Okay. Here the business users will be available. They are ready to view the reports. Okay. So this will happen when you are loading on daily basis. So what will happen is in live or production, you will see this ETL team will prepare some graphs in fact in the Abinitio. Okay. So all the different graphs are nothing but jobs.
So the ETL team's main responsibility is to make sure that entire source data is loaded into the data warehouse.
Yes.
So they don't do any kind of analysis on the data, right?
They won't do any analysis.
Basically, they just make sure that everything got loaded.
Yes, that's it.
Okay.
So analysis will be done by business people, not for
So that comes into the picture at the later stage. Okay.
Yes. So what I will be saying is they will be giving business rules. Okay, what to apply on the input files. Okay, so at first stage I'll be getting the input. Okay, so I'll be applying the extraction process, that is cleansing all those things, and I'll prepare a clean file. Right. So at next level, my clean file is my input, and then I have to apply some business rules, and then you prepare the output file. Okay. So at next step, you will be using this load ready file as the input, and then you have to load into a database tables. Okay. So E extraction, first step is for E, and second step is for T transformation, and last step is for loading. Okay. So now itself we will be receiving the business rules, all things. So whatever ETL team is doing, that we are concentrating here. Okay. Test how the reports are prepared. It will be taken care by reporting team. Right. So the main thing is our concentration is to load into warehouse. Once the data has been loaded into warehouse, and it should be valid data. You should validate the data actually once it is being loaded. What type of validation is nothing but you have to validate with the business rules what they had given. Okay, suppose I am getting a data from the different input files. Suppose from the input file, if my field policy type is equal to A, then for that customer, the amount should be something this much. Okay, risk amount. That
Okay.
kind of things. If we are applying it, so it should be reflecting in my warehouse. Okay, whatever business is expecting to be available in the warehouse, that data should be loaded by us. Right? So then only that warehouse database will be utilized for making of reports. So reporting people will be interacting with the business clients and people who are interested to see the reports how it should be. Okay.
Okay.
So our responsibility is gather the data from different sources and apply these business rules and load it and do the unit testing, and then once it is done, you send it to the SAD team. Next team. Okay. So SAD system integration testing team will be doing the testing of operational things. That means your graph should run and the functionality what should be loaded into my target. It should be matching with the requirements. Then they may raise some defects in between. Those defects we have to support them. That means we have to fix them. Okay. So as a developer, you will be supporting the SAD team as well, and we have to support the next level also if required. UAT and load also. UAT is user acceptance testing. So once your SID is done, user acceptance testing is different environments. So this code will be ran in the different environment before going to live or production. Okay, to make sure that it will work in live or production. In live or production, what will happen once it went to live? You'll be using the files on daily basis, and there should not be any break in between. If the system is not working right,
Right.
I can't stop in between, and I have to start once again the live. It should go to live or production, right? So operationally, we will be checking everything, and then only we'll start live or production.
So this
It will
SIT
be
and UAT will come into picture after it is loaded into data warehouse?
yeah. See, we will be
Or will it be done after the reports are created?
no. This overall picture is up to the last step, right?
Okay.
While we do development, right, we won't receive actual files.
I mean, I'm
Normally.
asking, like, you know, in a typical real world scenario,
Yeah.
based on the business requirements or the business rules, ETL team will load the data into data warehouse,
Ah,
right?
that's what I'm saying. ETL team will not load. Why? Why? Because I will be doing the testing of my requirements. Okay, but I won't receive the actual file. I have prepared my own data actually, what they require,
Okay.
or sample data. Okay, that is up to me, my development environment, right? Once it went to SAT, they will be having some different database to load.
Okay.
Okay, environment is changed, right? So your environment is different. Your maintaining of files is different in the Unix box. My Unix server is different, right? Your database is different. My database is different.
Mm-hmm.
So altogether, you are loading in different environment actually there itself. So they will be receiving the actual file. They will load it, and if they find any issues, they will flag it, and we have to fix it.
Okay.
Okay. So once SIT is finished, once you in SIT number of defects will be keep on fixing it actually. Once everything is fixed, once you find that SIT is clear now without any defects, and it will be again a fresh run in the UAT. Again UAT is in different server where you will be having a different database, UAT database.
Right, because that is in a different environment.
Hmm. So they itself they will plug in these reports.
Okay.
The reports will be connected to the database and they will show to the users, actual users, where they required to have these reports in place, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in that case, what will happen is mostly the data which is being loaded. If you are sure that the data which is required is being loaded, okay, and the reports are not showing effectively. That means the reports are not effective for the user suppose. So they will be asking the reporting team, I need the reports like this, but not like this. See, data before the data comes into the reports, they may agree that that design is okay, but once the data is being loaded into warehouse and once reports are viewable, they may ask for the changes. Okay, so reporting changes may happen or ETL changes will comes into picture, and we have to apply those, and then only we can fix the warehouse how it should be. Okay, for all these things, one person DBA will be there. DBA will be loading the creating the tables and maintaining all those things, data modeling, all those stuff. Okay, and then after UAT is fine, if we find that the reports are okay, then only they will be sending the OAT. OAT is optional again, operational acceptance testing. So they will be running in scheduling tools. So whenever you prepare some jobs in the ETL, right, using Abinitio, jobs are nothing but graphs I told, right? So there are n number of jobs. You can't run n number of jobs with dependency by manually, right? So you have to run through scheduling tools. Scheduling tools are available for us like Control M, Autosys, Tivoli. So any of these tools will be using in your system, in your environment, so that they will be preparing the jobs first of all, and then run one by one actually, according to dependencies. That is again a graphical interface where you will be running the jobs on a daily basis, and it will be monitoring by the support team. So when it went to, so jobs itself, it will be designed at the OAT level only. While you are OAT testing only, this jobs will be prepared in scheduling tool, and then run it and then check it whether the jobs are working fine or not in the scheduling tool with respect to dependency. So they will fix it if the dependency is not good enough to load into warehouse. So once it is fine, then they will be okay with the live or production. So once you start with live or production, you will be using the data files from different source systems. So production team will be there, okay, who will be monitoring the batch process. So production team is that L2 support team, level 2 support. So when you come to support, there are three levels: level 1, level 2, level 3 support of teams. So level 1 will be the business users only at one level. The employees who are working under the business web and the other location, right, at client location. So they are the business users. They will be looking after the L1 support. L1 support will responsibility is something like suppose the users are viewing the reports, right? SDs are the I told you the example about this advisors working in the customer care center, right? So in that customer care center, they will be viewing the reports. If they found that the reports are not correct for me for today, for yesterday's activity, okay, so they will be raising the report to the defect to the L1 team. So the L1 team will be handling the defect, and then if it is resolved by, if they can resolve the issue by themselves as a functionally, if there is a functional issue, suppose that he is not selecting some options in the reports, okay, that's why it is not showing correctly. So they will be guiding them in all the aspects. Okay, if they want any assistance from the level 2 support team, so that defect will be forwarded to the level 2 support team. Okay, level 2 support team is who will monitor the batch. So they will look, they have to trace back from source to target, end-to-end process, why it is getting loaded wrongly, and what are the functionalities available in between to load it into my warehouse. Okay, once if they can able to find the issue, and if they want to fix it anything, they will run the data once again with respect to those files, or they will be suggesting some information that business rules are designed like that. Okay, so you will be getting the business rule changes, which will be handled again by the development team. Okay, so again the development team will act as a third level support team members.
Okay.
Okay, so you will be having the roles of actual developers and then the level 3 support team members, that is enhancements. You will be modifying the existing code. So some changes, business rule changes have happened. So you will be modifying it. You will be supporting the production support team people in all the aspects. When it got failed, you have to give suggestions what to do with it, right? All those things will be done by development team. So as a developer, you can play any role of a developer, third level support team member, second level support team member also. Are you clear, Prasad?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So in this way, we will be having this warehouse built and all the things, right? So when you say it's a data warehouse, right? We can say it's having the 4 features. It's a subject-oriented, integrated, non-volatile, and time variance. Okay. So these are nothing but integrated. Subject-oriented means I will maintain all the data with respect to subject in my warehouse. Okay. Suppose my warehouse is an enterprise organization, right? I can maintain the data with respect to customer, product, transaction, activity, policy, claim, account. This kind of data I am separating here in different schemas of my database. Okay. So in that way, it's a subject oriented. So it's a subject oriented. When you come for non-volatile, right? Once the data has been loaded into my data warehouse, okay, it won't be modified. It won't be changed. Okay, that is non-volatile. Once the data has been loaded into warehouse, it won't be modified.
Sriram, Nagar office panlo unnaru.
Okay, next one is integrated. You are combining all the different types of sources, right? Heterogeneous data sources, and then that will be loaded into warehouse. That's the kind of integration which is happening here.
Okay.
Okay, and then time variance. So when compared to operational database maintenance, right? Your data warehouse will maintain for longer period of time. Okay, so with respect to time, your data will be growing up in the warehouse. That's what like a time variant means. With respect to time, the data will be growing, will change. You can see here the major difference between the data warehouse and the transaction database simply. The main thing is the size of the data warehouse is always larger than the size of the operational database. Right? So why it is so is we are maintaining the historical data here. So that's why it is very much larger than the normal database. In normal database, we won't be doing any transactional operations. Right? So transactional operations means select, update, delete, insert. These operations will not be done in the normal database, in the warehouse. Okay, only select operations is allowed.
Okay.
Okay, so our differences will be more actually. Okay, so here you can see normal database OLTP will be having the tables of master tables or transaction tables, whereas in the warehouse it's the dimension tables or fact tables. That simply the naming convention is different, but the functionality is same. So master tables are nothing but master information of any of the business, right? Suppose you take a account, bank account. Your basic information is your master data. Okay, what are the transactions you are doing it, those are transaction tables. Right?
Right.
So master tables and transaction tables will be having the relation between them. That's the primary key and foreign key relation, like a parent and child. Okay. So when you are checking this database size of the OLTP, OLTP stands for online transactional processing. Okay, online transactional processing. This is online analytical processing. Okay. So here the data maintaining in the normal database will be detailed level of information, whereas in the warehouse it will be a summarized information. Okay. Summarizations means we will be finding some summations, average, grouping, all those things will be happening on the warehouse database. Right? So maintaining of data is large in warehouse when compared to normal database. Okay. So these are the main different differences you can see in the normal database and the warehouse. Okay, we can make use of normal database directly for reporting purpose. But what is the difference there? You won't have any business rules applied in between. You have to show the direct data which is available in the normal database as it is into your reports. Okay, so always you will be having ETL team in between, even though your source is database only. Clear, Prasad?
Yes, yes. So basically, the data warehouse contains more of like you said, it contains a lot of business rules applied in it. Whereas
Right.
this is kind of
Yeah.
in a way it is some kind of raw data in the database.
Right. So in between, like you might be interested to see only the particular data only, right? By selection, by filtering the data, right? So such kind of informations, required data only will be loaded into warehouse, and with respect to required fields, right? So ultimately, you will be loading into tables. Those are dimension tables and fact tables. Okay, we'll see this dimensional modeling and all those things in the later sessions. But our thing is, our idea is to start with warehousing basics and then go with Abinitio basic architecture and each and every component. In the graphs, right? When I say it's a graph is a collection of components. When I say it's a component, each and every component will do one task. Okay. Suppose you want to filter the data, so one of the component will make help of you, right, for making the sorting. Okay. So for the each and every requirement, some components will be there. So with those components, you have to build a graph according to your requirements. Okay. So in between, we'll give you some assignments, like I told you already. Then we'll go with some advanced features as well with interview questions at last.
Okay.
Any queries?
No, Kumar, I think I'm good.
You understand, right, why we are using it now?
Right. So basically, like now I get better picture as to what exactly you're going to explain and all that, and how the data warehouse structure is organized.
This will be having longer period of span of time, life, actually. So once you develop your ETL, right, that is run. So your production support, which will be running in the live, right, that will be keep on working for every 5 years or every 3 years. It will be keep on renewal. Okay, that should be maintained by some people, right? They have to load it. Technical people should be there for taking care of my warehouse. Who will be picking up the data from source systems and then load it. And if they got any defects, they have to fix it. If they got any business changes, they have to change it, right? So ultimately, they have to show the reports as per the requirements at that level. It won't be as it is. There won't be any change. It's not like business will be fixed at this point, right? Every moment they will be having some new things happen, right? So they should be reflecting into the reports at every year, right? So for 5 years they will be giving contract to suppose same process. Okay, if the vendor is not good enough to handle the our warehouse application, right, to make load into ETL and then make a reports, right? They'll be having an agreement of things like, okay, if, with respect to all the loading and the report availability time of reports. Okay, according to it, they may give that contact to some other vendors, whoever bidding the project. Okay, so like that, the project can go with any team in the production support. So 5 years span of time means if you are no Abinitio, right? In the support team also you can work as a part of analysis role. Okay, you do analysis, you find out the issue, but you don't have the privilege to modify there. You'll be updating it to the development team to fix the issue. Okay, so like that way you have the opportunities. When it is a production support, always compulsory that someone should work from onsite and some other people, others guys will be working from offshore.
Okay.
Okay, so this time we'll be working in like a 24/7 support team. Your timing will be different, my timing will be different. So ultimately the business will be having the reports available in all the way 24 hours a clock. Right? So in that way they will be managing the team between the offshore and onshore. Okay. So you can have the opportunities at any way. So we'll see what are the roles and the responsibilities more when we discuss in between the sessions.
Okay.
Is it okay, Prasad, now?
Yes, yes. Thank you.
Your timings, have you discussed, you already decided what time?
Not yet, Kumar. Basically, I wanted to get an idea of about the curriculum and what you're going to explain and all that. Now I get some kind of picture.
Yeah.
That will help me to decide.
Okay, okay, okay. We'll decide it actually. It will be morning or evening of my time will be okay for me, but not for office hours. Okay. Anyhow, like no one would be available for office hours if they are working for teacher. Okay. So we'll go. See, we will not club together actually in general. Okay. Even though it will be different, whatever timings you require, it will be different. Okay. So if there is any chance of any other thing, any other guys are joining with you, right? It will be falling on the same time. Okay. Otherwise, it will be different for according to your timing.
Will you be covering anything related to the testing and QA part of it? Like how the testing is carried out when an organization is using Abinitio?
Yes, yes, we'll cover that. Okay. We'll cover testing part also. Okay, Prasad?
All right, Kumar. This information is very much helpful for me to think about.
Okay. Okay, then give the relevant time, whatever your convenience, right? Once you decided, so that it will be started as regular sessions. Okay.
Sure, Kumar. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks very much. Bye.
అంటే నాన్న